Hi, I'm Allison. I live alone in the woods with my 2 dogs. I'm divorced and I have a grown child. This is week 10 of my weight loss journey. Glad you're here. It's Thursday and I'm down to another new low with a total weight loss of 32.7 pounds.
Okay, this is the poor man's version of a walking pad. Do I need a thing moving underneath me to get my steps? It'd be easier, but I don't. What are we at? I got my new watch on. Apparently I have to move my arms so they don't count. How are we doing? Oh, come on. We're at like 1,000 steps. I can do this. I don't have a goal for today. I'm just gonna see what I can accomplish.
Okay, do you remember the string that I started with at the very beginning or around the beginning where I was measuring my waist measurement? Well, I've been looking at it every week or so, and today I decided I'd revisit it. And this is how much I get to cut off. I'm flabbergasted. And in a second here, I'll show you the difference between the beginning and right now. Do you see this? This was my waist measurement when I started this process, and that's my waist measurement today, 10 weeks later. That blows my mind. Wow. The rest of this day proved both amazing and nearly tragic. I did almost get hit by a car while crossing the street in a crosswalk, but after that, I went to an amazing dinner party with fabulous new people.
Yeah. No, we worked on that together.
Yesterday was a day. I left the house at noon and I didn't get home until 9. But it was a good day. I went to counseling and then I stopped into a professional organization that's supporting me with a legal issue I'm dealing with right now. And that really made me feel a lot better. And I finally feel like I have a plan to move my process forward. And I just felt really grateful that I kind of walked in distressed and they wrapped their arms around me and said it's going to be okay and help me develop a plan. So that's good. Then I went to a dinner party with a whole bunch of really awesome people. We talked art and books and politics and ate delicious food and played with dogs, and it was a really great evening. I've had to switch my weekend around because I have to be home on Sunday, so I needed to move my DEXA Scan. And that means I'm no longer going to the tea festival tomorrow because I'm instead going to my DEXA Scan and then headed down to my dad's to let the dogs play and just say hello to him. One of the bad things that happened yesterday was that I almost got hit by a car in a crosswalk. That was alarming and reminded me that every day is not promised. So take that vacation, do the thing you've been waiting to do. Nothing is promised. It was so close that all of the surrounding vehicles rolled down their windows to check to see if I was okay, because it looked like I had been hit. I have not been in that close of a call ever in my life. So I'm grateful that turned out okay. And I'm starting to notice that the anxiety I'm dealing with seems to be a morning thing, first thing when I wake up, and it seems to improve over the course of the day, and exercise is helping. So I will see if I can continue to manage it with anxiety medication as needed and without my SSNI, because I really don't want to be on that SSNI. There's nothing wrong with that. I've just been on it for so long, like 15 years, and I want to learn who I am without it. The weather can't make up its mind here. It's dumping rain one minute and sun shining the next minute, and the ground is so wet that trees have been falling. Not any of my trees, but nearby trees. Work is busy and stressful as usual, but that's okay. That's why they pay me the big bucks. I'm really glad it's Friday. I feel very low energy today. I'm wearing this new tracking watch. It's inexpensive, I think around $30. I'll put a link in the description. It's working just fine for me and seems to be a good alternative to the more expensive name brands like the Fitbits and such. I like the step tracking component of it, but I don't enjoy the heart rate monitoring and the blood pressure monitoring because that information kind of like stresses me out a little bit. I don't have high blood pressure, but when I'm stressed, I have slightly elevated blood pressure, and that causes me stress, which then elevates my blood pressure. So I think I am finding that I'm one of those people that if I have too many data points swirling, it gets a little bit overwhelming for me. So I totally relate to folks who can't weigh themselves every day. I get it because I'm like that with other things, other metrics. Not the weight so much, but definitely other metrics. And yesterday at the dinner party, I experienced my first social pushback on what I was choosing to eat. I was specifically eating slowly, making sure to put my utensil down between each bite, and then I did not clear my plate. And I actually got given a lighthearted hard time by one of the gentlemen who was there at the dinner party, saying that I should clean my plate and eat more, and why was I eating so slowly? And then he asked if I wanted some dessert, which was a delicious blueberry crumble, or a blueberry crisp, excuse me, that was made with the hostess's homegrown blueberries. And I wanted some really, really badly. Oh, with homemade whipped cream, don't forget that. I wanted some really, really badly. And I said, no, thank you, as he was dishing things up. And he said, well, I'll bring you an extra spoon and you can have a bite. And so I did have a bite, and I only regret that bite because I didn't really want it. I was succumbing to peer pressure. And then when I said I didn't want a second bite, he pressured me. And so I had a second bite, and then I called it good. So I thought that was interesting because I've heard people talk about friends, family, and such not being supportive. And I didn't feel like this person even knew me well enough to be supportive or not supportive. I felt like he had no ill intent at all. It just struck me as odd that he seemed so invested in my food choices for the evening. That struck me as a little bit odd. Didn't make me mad, just struck me as odd. But there were some fascinating people around the dinner table. Lawyers, artists, professional photographers, a seed scientist with a PhD in genetics, and then me. I'm actually a public health professional. I've been in public health since 2003. So I actually do have a decently impressive job title and responsibilities and such, but it didn't feel on par with all of the masterminds that I was sitting around the table with. So just a moment of reflection. There's no reason for feeling inferior. They're amazing, gracious people. So that's just my own baggage. But it was really fun, and I enjoyed meeting all the people. Even a national park ranger. I mean, just like what a very awesome motley crew. I don't think I have much planned for the rest of today besides work. And I might go into town tonight just to distract myself, but I could also really stand to do some dishes and tidy up around my house. That has been falling by the wayside during my periods of anxiety, which illuminates why I had such difficult time most of my life keeping my house clean. And I was just finally to the place where it was like a year that I had been keeping it extremely tidy. And then I went off my meds, and it's fallen back to, let's say I was doing like a 9 out of 10 job for the last year, and I'm back to like a 6 out of 10. So it's not like a 2 out of 10, which is what it used to be. It's not as bad as it has been, but it's not as good as it could be. So I really would like to start addressing that. I think that's all I got for you right now. It's time for me to get back to work, and I'll keep you posted on how the rest of the day goes. Will I ever eat anything besides tacos? I don't know, but I'm okay with my life right now. These are shredded beef barbacoa tacos with red onion, a tiny bit of cheese, arugula, a little bit of sour cream, and some hot sauce. And it's a regular tortilla. I can't handle things that are trying to be other things, and I'm not ready to give up tortillas. So it's a regular tortilla that I crisped on the stove. We're gonna try to take smaller bites.
The fastest I've ever eaten a taco was 6 bites. Can I make this one last longer?
That was damn tasty. And that's why I eat so many tacos. It's just like the perfect balance of all the flavors and all the textures.
Something fascinating just happened. I went to the store and I got a pizza because I feel like I want to eat more than one meal in my fasting period today. I don't know why. It's not a binge thing. It's just, I feel the need for food. So I'm going to honor that. But I just got a little personal pan pizza, like a little 4-piece pizza. And then while I was waiting for the pizza to cook, I went over to the grocery store and I was really looking for a small treat. And I was okay with that, a small treat. And I could not find anything in that store that I wanted to eat, that I thought would be worth it, that I thought would be delicious enough. I just saw mediocrity. And I browsed the aisles slowly for 10 minutes while I waited for that pizza to be done. And there was nothing. Not even any Easter candy, which is typically some of my favorites. So I just thought I'd share because I find that really interesting. Something has changed in my mind. Something has shifted. And I'll be curious to see where it takes me.
So I left Midge unattended with the groceries for a little bit while I talked to my neighbor. And it was a little bit too long because she ate a lot of ground beef for a tiny, tiny dog. Not surprised.
I haven't been doing a great job of showing you what I've been up to today. I just went into the grocery store and got myself some antipasto from the antipasto bar, like roasted garlic and peppers and artichoke hearts and something else. Oh, tiny pickles. So I plan to eat that a little bit later. And I'm about a half an hour from my appointment. And traffic is going to be bad on the way back because the tulip traffic that comes into the region was fierce, and
I'm gonna have to fight that on the way home, which is a bummer. Oh well. Nothing I can do about it now.
You scooch up 3 or 4 inches up top here. Kind of a little bit more. Just kind of sweep your hair behind your head. Kind of right under your head. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Okay, hold. Toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Hands at your sides, kind of a chop. Thumb up, fingers pointed. You got it. Hold both hands around just a little closer to your body. And then scooch your whole body maybe 1.5 to your right. Just a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. All right, hold that position. Just breathe normally. Eyes open or closed. Don't let your arms drift out at all. As soon as the scanner gets attached to your head, I'll let you know. You can talk to your client. It's all done. You are all good to pop up. Just watch for an email shortly, and that's it. You're good to go.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much for coming out.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got my DEXA scan results via email. And I don't know what I thought about this process would be like fun. But I guarantee you that looking at those results was not fun. They show you pictures of like your body and where your skeleton is compared to where your fat is, and they give you percentile rankings for your data as compared to their entire data set of like over 30,000 DEXA scans and women your age. And then when you end up being placed in the 99th percentile for certain things, it's very humbling. And I understand that not a lot of morbidly obese people, or whatever you want to call people who look like me, I don't know. It's such a sensitive issue that whatever the label is such a sensitive issue. I just don't want to upset anyone. Insert label here, but not a lot of people my size. Hey, look at that, I did it. Not a lot of people my size get DEXA scans, so their data set skews towards more slender people, which but 99th percentile in a data set of 33,000 hurts. It did tell me useful things like I'm 52% body fat, that my lean body mass is 120 pounds. So that means that I'll never be 120 pounds, and that my goal weight of about 145 is probably pretty accurate for me. That would be putting me at about 20% body fat. Yeah, if my lean body mass stayed around the same, then my goal weight should be at right where I thought it was, which is 145, which that surprised me that I was pretty spot on for that. What else did it tell me? It told me my bone density was good. It told me that I have pretty even distribution of fat in my body, so I'm not necessarily like super belly heavy in my fat or leg heavy in my fat, so it breaks it down like that. It told me that my resting basal metabolic rate, I think that's what it's called, is about 1,700 calories. So that would make sense why I'm losing weight so quickly, because I'm eating well under that, plus the intermittent fasting. So every day I'm in a deficit just by existing right now. So overall, I would say that the experience was well worth it as far as value for the money. I don't know what part of it I thought would be fun. It's definitely sobering, but I'm glad I did it because now I have a baseline and it's only going to get better from here. Oh, if you want $10 off, check out the link down in the description below. And every time you use $10 off, I get a little bit of kickback, and it helps me get more DEXA scans. So thank you in advance if you decide to use that link. I'm going to hang out here at my dad's for a little while longer and let the dogs play. And then I have scheduled a date, so I got to get my head in that headspace. Because right now I'm thinking 99th percentile. Oh, that's so sexy. Got to reframe, and I can do this. I can go make small talk with a handsome man. And then I'm going to go home. It's going to be a really long day, but so far so good.
I got home at about 10 p.m. If you've gotten this far, drop me a car emoji in the comments so that I know that you've made it to the end. And I'd also appreciate a like and a subscribe. And remember, we've got this.